We should call the meeting of the Harwich Cemetery Commission to order at 9 a.m. on March 6th. We're going to take an out of order for Ann.
So Anne Marie Russo, yep. So she is actually going to help with volunteering with the veterans, scanning in of records with me. But she had come to my office and had some other information that she'd like to share.
I didn't realize she was on the cemetery committee. I thought she was a veterans committee person.
Right.
That's why I talked to her. I've been on the Veterans Council in Arlington, Mass. For the last 8 years. And one of the things that the director of Veterans Services did was to attach a little sticker to each of the veterans' graves in the cemetery in Arlington. And the reason I brought this up is she every year goes out and identifies where she needs to put it. You guys.
That's Cindy. Cindy's
Cindy and her husband take care of all of that stuff.
Okay, Cindy.
30+ years.
So that sticker does stick really well to the smooth surface of a grave. And when we go to put flags on graves, we look for the sticker, and then we actually have a little poking tool to make a hole and stick the flag in. Robin tells me that she is putting
most all of our veterans have flag holders.
which is really very nice. I don't know what happens during mowing season when they're out there mowing, but if they have to remove those. But the sticker actually makes it very, very easy to locate graves and put the flags in. So I mentioned that to her, and I didn't realize. I'm glad I found that little sticker, but I didn't realize I was going to tell you about that. So does that help your job at all? Or
We put our markers, the markers are supposed to go right at the top of the flat veterans plaque.
there is a marker?
That's where it should be always. Sometimes they migrate. People put them up near the stones by the monument or over here or there.
If they don't have a foot marker, right?
No,
Oh.
if they choose to, they're
Oh,
up to
okay.
move them. But we try to put them that way because Jim does the mowing, and whatever we can do to help them so they can get the job done and not have to get off and move things. And
Right.
we've changed our rules and regulations so that hopefully people will help us with that. But having the flags still there is really easy because you can see them, glance at them from a distance. I mean, we know where most of them are anyway after 30 years, but that really does help. And that's the way we've done it for 30 years.
There may come a day, though, that you're not doing it anymore.
Right.
So who pays for the flag holders?
We buy them. The cemetery through our perpetual care account.
Okay.
And they're expensive. They're almost $30 a piece, but we figure they deserve it. So we
Absolutely.
No question there. No
So we
question.
want them to have a flag holder, and the flag holder keeps the flag nice and straight. Sometimes if you just stick it in the ground, because people do that, put flags on their loved ones' graves, even if they're not veterans. Like if you go in, sometimes you'll just see a single flag stuck in the ground.
Oh, and yeah.
Jim can attest to that because he is the person who's in the cemetery day in and day out doing all the maintenance. Right, Jim?
Yeah, there's, to Cindy's point, they do migrate a lot. They set them up perfectly in May or April every year before Memorial Day. They look great, and then they start to not look so great as people visit, and, things just happen. They set them in one spot, and now it's 2 feet over because sometimes they even get up and leave and migrate to a different grave,
Okay.
Which we hope they don't migrate to a different grave.
Yeah, this was
Yeah,
really
that's a good
well.
idea.
It is a good idea.
Suggestion.
Definitely a good
And
idea.
in terms of mowing, there's
Yep.
nothing to move because that sticker is visible
Mm-hmm,
on there. And it lasts, a couple of years maybe would have to be replaced. Anyway, just wanted to let you know that that's,
Well, nice to meet
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, can you actually just show it on the screen so people can
I can
see?
leave it.
Well, I want them to see what it looks like for us.
Oh, there I am.
Yeah. So if somebody
So if you go up,
up
Step
higher,
up to it. Come on.
just because these are people's stones, and we want them to know what it looks like.
It's a little bit of, upside down, but that's okay.
upside down.
Yep.
There we go.
I'll try this at home.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
For coming.
I'm sure we'll see you around if you're taking care of veterans.
Yeah.
We'll see
You
you
know,
again.
Then I went and spoke with the woman who's in charge of the veterans, and
Shawnee.
she doesn't want anybody else, or they can't be anybody else, so.
Yeah, for privacy,
Yeah.
they can't, because those veterans are still alive.
Yeah, but
That
I
she
don't
does
do
it.
anything in Arlington with the veterans per se, we just, put stickers on graves or
Yeah.
flags
Yeah.
Right.
for Memorial Day, so it wasn't
Oh,
a
okay.
privacy invasion.
Oh, okay.
Stay right there while I walk across.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank
too.
you.
You'd be taped on the way out anyway. All right, the minutes. We have
Yes,
minutes.
Cindy was good enough to type up the minutes, and I think then Rob, you went over them, right?
Grammarly did.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, I'm
I
gonna
can
go
only
through these, yeah.
approve one of them.
So so this would be
The
October
October
3rd. Let's do them one at a time.
So
2020.
October 3rd, that's everybody.
Yep, so,
All in favor?
wait, now, who makes a motion
Who
to
makes a
approve?
motion to
Well,
accept the
Cindy
minutes?
wasn't there that day. So only you and,
So I move that we accept the minutes of October 3rd.
I
okay,
second it.
okay,
That's unanimous.
all right. And then
And
Cindy and Rob were at,
I move that we accept the minutes to November 21st.
Yep, I agree.
and
That's unanimous.
December 12th?
12.
Because you were both.
And December 12th.
Okay, yeah. So, and Cindy. Perfect. Thank you, Cindy. That was very helpful to me.
Do you have minutes for last
I don't.
meeting? Okay.
Okay,
I'm
now-
trying to finish up because they want me to publish in the Chronicle all the names. So I'm just verifying. A couple of the guys, I wasn't sure whether they were ours or Eastham, so I've been going back and forth with them.
Yeah.
And there's one guy from Chatham that might be Chatham, so I'm just trying to finish that list so I can give it to Bill Galvin so he can publish that.
That'll fill up the whole paper, won't it? That
Yeah,
list.
and they said we have to pay for it, so we'll have to buy an ad with all the names.
How much will that be?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get all that information probably for the next meeting.
How many names?
450. It's a lot.
That'll be tiny print.
Tiny little print.
People won't be able to read it if it's.
We also can publish it on the, on our, we can also publish it on our, town page, so that people can go to it and look at it. So once, the scanner that I got, that was given to us a couple years ago, that I now unpacked, because I found it when I was cleaning out my office, I haven't been able to hook it up, so I'm gonna have Sarah come over and try to fix it, so that Anne Marie wants to volunteer to scan some records in, and one of the high school students will. So they just gonna scan in each record. I think it's the first is an Allen record, so he would scan in all of the John Allen record, which is probably 15 pieces of paper. And then we can link that on our Evergreen website under the veterans section, and they can click on it. So if they were a, relative, or they're doing the lineage for that, they could click it on it and see. So I have their birth dates, death dates, when they served their little military thing. And I think John has his pension file there, so it lists himself and his wife. So if they're a descendant, they're gonna know right away because it's got him as well as his wife. So it'll just make it easier for other people to know that we got the right guy. All right?
What's the ballpark on the ad? How much it's gonna cost?
I have no idea. He hasn't given it to me. I gotta give him what we want to say in it. So what we're gonna say is these are the Revolutionary War veterans that served under the town of Harwich, which also includes part of Brewster, because I want people to know right away, because they'll be like, oh, those guys are Brewster guys. But
Yeah.
I think we need to put that in there. I'll send you this,
No, I'm just curious, and why are we publishing it?
because that way if somebody's not on the list that I missed, we don't want to put it in stone if we miss somebody. So if we publish it and somebody comes forward and says, I wish I would have known, because we have this guy that's buried in this cemetery that is a Revolutionary War veteran that I didn't have on the list. I don't want to make a mistake. So this way it'll just be easier for everybody.
Let me get an email from Michael For American
I know,
folks?
yeah, I was gonna say, that's a tough last name. So, we are getting our new AmeriCorps, person, and they're gonna be starting, on, I think they changed the date. So, it will start on March 11th, which is next week.
Awesome.
So, I'll have, 2 days a week on 1 week, and then Amy will have 1 day, and then we'll switch the next week. So we'll have a floating day in between because we share Emrys for 3 days, and some weeks Emrys will be with Amy Tuesday and Wednesday, and then me Wednesday and Thursday, or vice versa. So we're just working out the schedules. But I'm very excited that she's going to be starting that week,
Yeah.
which is great.
This is one of the girls that was here before.
No, this is brand new.
Okay.
Brand new.
I'm sure she'll be great too.
Yes, I'm
You
sure.
all seem to be a big help.
Yes.
And then an email from Dan Kruger. Are we
Dan,
done with
yeah,
her?
yeah. So Dan Kruger is the he is kind of like the secretary to the New England Cemetery Association. We have our board of directors meeting, which is also March 11th. So Amy's taking Emrys that day, and it's because I have to go to Providence, Rhode Island. So this is for the upcoming conference, which is in Providence, Rhode Island this year. They are doing a lot of different stuff. I'm gonna bring you. When I come back, I'll have the whole itinerary if any of you guys want to attend or even attend for a day. I'm doing a lot of tours, and I think they're doing a gravestone thing at that conference. So I'll give you all the information at the next meeting that we have. Or as soon as I get it, I can email it to you guys so you can look at it in advance.
And what's the date of that meeting?
This one that I'm going to, it's just the board of directors meeting. It's March 11th. The conference is in June, the end of June. It's always in the end of June. Yeah. So then this is, the next thing really is mostly for Jim. So I'm on vacation 2 full weeks in April. The first week and I guess it's the last week.
I believe so.
Yeah. So it's April 1st to the 7th, and then the 22nd to the 28th. So I sent the information already over to the DPW so that they would all know. And also CC Jim, of course, and I told Jim first probably before I even emailed them.
So you want in the April meeting then?
Yeah, absolutely.
So we can either do the
Cool,
meet.
hot stove?
So we can either do the April meeting the last weekend of this month, which would be a week early, or the second weekend in April.
Let me do the second week.
Second weekend in April? Okay.
Yeah.
Second week.
So I could be up with the kids at that point.
What I can do is I can post it. I'll have to post it
you
before I
go?
leave. Yeah. So I'll post it the last weekend in March.
So what was the date on that then?
So that should be the 10th?
April 10th.
Yeah, so Tuesday's the 8th, 9th, yeah, Thursday the 10th.
Is that gonna be okay for you, Caleb? If we post a meeting for April 10th? Is there anything in here already?
No.
Okay, all right. Perfect. All right.
Okay, have fun on your vacations. We have any other
Really?
business correspondences, or that would have been Anne Marie earlier, I suppose.
Yeah, that would be Anne Marie.
Do you have anything, Jim? Enlightening to share or anything?
Well,
Not particularly.
He's gonna talk about the Eagle Scout thing with us.
Okay. Then we get old business, a walk of remembrance.
Yeah, well, so I'm finishing up, as I said, on the names. We're gonna post those in the Chronicle. As soon as we have it posted in the Chronicle, and we confirm all the names, then we can put it out to bid. It's because it's gonna have to go on combines, which is kind of good for us because then all of the bigger monument dealers will bid on it. So it'll probably come from either Rock of Ages, or it'll come from one of the other bigger companies that the smaller vendors usually go to.
Do we have a lineage length of the walk?
What do
How
you
long
mean?
it is?
We do
How many
somewhere.
feet?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, I don't have it in my
Yeah.
memory, but yes, it's in
So,
print.
you know, how we had loose discussions about where we're gonna stick the monuments
Yeah.
and spacing them out.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That looks
if
like a
we're
field trip, Dave.
200 years old,
Yeah.
how much space do we want to allow for the next 100 years, 200 years, heaven forbid?
We can always then, it can go where we have it now, depending on how big the monuments are. I mean, these two monuments are gonna be the biggest monuments.
Right,
The
yeah.
Revolutionary and the Civil War, because we had more men fighting for them.
Vietnam's
Well,
gonna be big, World War
World
II is gonna
War
be
II,
big.
yeah.
World War I could be big.
yeah,
I mean, we lost a lot, even though we didn't join that one until later.
yeah.
Do we have, these monuments are paid for already or no?
Yes.
The money is there for them, I should
CPC,
say.
yeah.
Okay, and for the engraving or no?
Yeah, the whole thing. The whole, the monuments are, we got CPC money to pay for
Okay.
the Civil War and Revolutionary War memorials.
And they double check the spelling of all these things before they actually carve it.
Correct, that's what I'm
Is there a
doing now.
guarantee on?
It's really hard with some of these Eldridge's people and, stuff
Yeah.
like that, because some of them
be
said
careful.
E, some of them said I, some of them went in on
They
with an
were-
I, and then it was an
They're
E on
large,
there.
They better be an A.
Yeah. So on their tombstones, it depends
ones
on
with
what's
the
on their
monument shell.
tombstones. It's a lot of work.
So. we-
Somebody else is double checking that.
We should figure out the spacing.
Yeah.
And then we ought to forecast, depending on how we're gonna divide this, where the rest of them are gonna go.
Okay.
For at least, I mean, let's say there was a windfall and you could go all the way up to the War on Terror or whatever we're gonna cover. Where are we gonna space those? And
Right.
then I was thinking, those, and I'm glad you're here. If there was a weather durable, those plastic engraved plates or something,
Mm-hmm.
where, and I don't like this wording, but it said future site of, future site of,
Right.
I mean, that also helps with letting the
Funding,
public
yeah.
know what's coming. I don't know if we wanna think about doing that,
Okay.
but I don't want them sticking up where you guys go crazy that they're gonna go around this again, or.
The temporary things you're referring to?
Yeah, I mean, if they were on, I don't know how they'd even stick them in the ground. Flat would be good, but then they're gonna get,
You're talking about the things when they bury someone and they just mark their grave with them until
like
a
that.
stone is.
That
I
type
know.
of thing.
I know that Chapman makes them in house.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They have a machine to make them in house. Because they bring them to the graveside.
oh, really?
If there's
I've
not
never
already
seen one of those.
if there's not already an existing stone.
So if you
one.
go into Island Pond, my dad's is still up. So if you went into Island Pond, he's on anchor. So you could just drive up and see one. They're about this big,
Yeah,
and they're a metal, and it just goes in, and they're laminated kind of on the top.
They last, but they're not forever. A couple
Yeah.
of years and they fade away.
Yeah.
But they're better than the old-fashioned metal ones because those letters
Well,
become
they were-
disheveled
yeah,
and
they
then
were-
they scatter.
And I think those were kind of a plastic.
Yeah.
They
well,
were
that's what I was thinking is the thing that they make, office signs where the inside is white, the outside is
Brown and
black or brown, or, and it's an engraving thing that takes the brown away and leaves the white behind. And you can, but since it's plastic or fiberglass, whatever.
I mean, they last. There are some that are still, the people still haven't received a monument yet or
Right.
haven't, and they're a couple, 3 years old, but the picture and the lettering is kind of fading
Fading.
How
away.
much they cost?
We can ask.
You can ask.
I would
I
check
don't know,
on
do you
that.
think that's a good idea, just,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
especially when
if
the
we-
big.
Well, it would
monuments go up.
actually,
Yeah.
it's more
Then-
visual so that we could figure out if we're putting them.
We can space
spaced
them
enough.
properly.
Well, and that should just be
Too.
mathematical. I mean, if
So,
we're gonna do.
We can still do engineering. There is still, if we had like Paul Sweet to do a little engineering thing, we put that through town hall because they pay for any engineering things. So if we hired him now, we could submit the bill to them for the engineering.
See how he
part
would
of it.
divide that up?
Yeah,
I mean, because if you're putting two big monuments up,
yeah.
you know.
Rob can figure that out, how many feet between the monuments.
Oh, that, yeah, I mean, that's the easy part.
Yeah.
It's just how much of the walk we wanna save
For future.
before this, the turnaround that the
Right.
Blutes are gonna decorate,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's, are we gonna do 100 years, or are we gonna do 200 years? This is a field
I
trip.
think it should be 200 years.
Yeah, at least.
Can it come back on the other side of the walkway too?
Well, I thought we had talked
Trying to be
about
linear
one
from the
side
start
is,
to finish.
one side outbound are
Right.
the, you know, Revolutionary War, Civil War, where they're readable
Right.
as you walk outbound.
Yeah.
And then the other side was to either benches or to commemorate,
Okay.
The founding of Gold Star Brothers.
yeah, the Gold Star one, the
Yeah.
Merchant Marine.
Right.
We're gonna have to definitely do one for that because, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know, it's,
That's
do you have
good,
one of
yeah.
those wheelie things?
I do.
Things we
Yeah,
need
so
to
maybe
figure out.
we
I
can
have one of those
schedule
too.
Jim, you know,
Yeah.
and do the wheelie thing, and then especially if we have a rough idea how many monuments, how far we wanna go,
Yeah.
then that would be 10 feet. I mean, cause if you put those first two too close together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's that cartoon, The Plan Ahead, you know? Oops.
The markers, can they go right up near the walkway?
Well, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I would
So
want
they're
them
not,
where
you know,
they're not in their
Right,
way.
right,
Yeah,
right up
I
against
would
the
like,
walkway,
I would
but
like them right
with
on
an
the
arrow,
walkway.
Future,
The
you know.
small markers you're talking about?
No, the big ones. I don't want a space between the marker and the, like,
Oh, see, now that's another question is.
so, because you don't want a strip of grass between them. You want it to be, and we don't want them to be, have to weed whack between them. We don't want the markers to get dinged,
You're talking about the monuments.
the monuments.
not
Yeah.
markers.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about the little signs
Oh,
that say future.
I still think those should be near the
So it's
edge.
just gonna be grass right up
Yeah.
to the edge of the walkway.
Yeah,
for
As far
convenience.
as I
yeah,
understand.
yes.
Yeah, I think that would be
And
good,
that
then
ends up
they're not
getting
in
weed
the
whacked.
Right,
anyway,
I-
way
just a
and
straight
stuff.
line one.
Yeah.
So it
We
would
should
be a
probably
big
have a
deal to go.
meeting to discuss all that.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm kind of waiting. I'm having a difficult time envisioning the final product here in my head.
Yeah.
You know, so I'm just, you know, envisioning the curvy walkway, and
Yeah.
I don't really know the
there's
positioning.
some straightaways though.
There
So I
definitely
mean,
is.
yeah,
But
So-
it's whether the monument is, if this is the walkway,
If it's right up tight or if it's a gap or.
what Robin was getting at is, are the monuments here, here, or
Yeah.
at an angle, they're readable, but now if there's the Civil War monument, and it's, well, picture it this way.
Yep.
It's thick, it's what, 8 inches, 10 inches thick. So you guys can mow to here or loop in.
I'd rather have the monument directly. What's going to happen is,
This?
yeah,
Yeah.
because if you don't, there'll be weed whacking in between there, and that marker will get
Well, it's like
scarred.
it's like a
Yeah.
memorial wall.
Yeah,
But
Yeah.
Yeah.
with space between them.
right.
I mean, you can't put the bench here now, but now the bench could go here.
Yeah, that's what I was envisioning. The bench is facing.
Should we alternate the stones, one here and then the next one here, so it's not, looks like a wall?
That's.
Oh, wait, they're going to be pretty far apart.
Well, that's what I was
think.
getting
Yeah,
at by having the wheelie measurer thing
Yeah.
for, sorry, technical flying term. I mean, how far between I mean, if you stand at one end of the walkway and you go, well, this is huge.
It is huge.
And you kind of go, 1812, Civil War, Revolutionary War, start counting them off in your fingers, you're gonna use 100 yards out of
Yeah.
400.
I think we should have a meeting where we just talk about that and go down there and, you know, put something on the ground so we can see exactly what
Yeah.
they're gonna be.
And that's what,
You
that's what led to my thinking of the little temporary,
Yeah.
couple of year worth of signs, so that when people go visit, they go, oh, this is coming next.
Right.
And then a well-timed, okay, we're moving on to phase 3, which is
Yeah.
whatever the next war would be. You know, the left side, those will all be people with interests that donate. There's probably a Merchant Marine Association,
Right.
and a nice letter to them, and they'll go, oh yeah, sure, we'd love to put something up there. you know, the wax, the waves, I mean, I don't know if we wanna do all of that, maybe just one monument to them,
Yeah.
but we get Shawnee involved in that or something.
Sounds reasonable. So at the next meeting, at the April 10th meeting, you want to,
Let's plan a field trip if the weather's
go
nice.
there?
Field trip,
Field trip, so
You buying the coffee?
sure, always.
I'll put it on the agenda.
Coffee
He's
and
getting
donuts.
coffee?
No,
Coffee and
that
donuts.
we're going.
Lunch
Okay.
at the hot stove after.
We could, I'll buy that too, yeah.
There's a multitude of things we could do.
We can,
Do you want to do the Eagle Scout project next, or you want to do the revolving account? Just keep it in order?
Oh, why, Jim, you got a bolt?
Whatever suits you.
Is it raining
whatever
up there
suits you
still?
best.
this is kinda old businessy.
Yeah.
Like,
Old business.
when you were here in the fall, we
Yes.
got your new mower.
You sure did.
We wanted two,
I-
but we weren't sure money-wise.
Correct.
Do we wanna, maybe when we get to the budget, discuss that, and you still want a second one?
It
And
definitely
that
would,
was
it would be
70
good for the future.
75?
I
Is that what
thought it was a little more.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was more than
Well,
that.
is it not in here? Or it was probably in the year before.
Yeah.
No, it was $8,774.
It's probably a little bit more now too, because
Probably because of tariffs.
tariffs and all that other
Oh,
shenanigans.
I still want Link to chip.
I mean, both.
Maybe he will split it. Who knows?
Well, I was just looking ahead, and,
Yeah,
I mean, I hate going down,
yeah.
but we should be thinking about.
I do have a lot of lot sales coming up too.
Okay.
People keep putting it off because it was so cold. I had like,
What's the lead time of getting one for you?
It's usually not too bad. Well, that's ebb and flows as well, you know, but,
Is it local, or do you get a
yes, local. Usually,
guy over there by
Pass it
Hokum Rock or whatever? it is?
no, the last one we got was at RPM, right down
Oh,
the
yeah,
road from
right
us.
down
perfect.
on Queen
That's
Anne Road,
the newest one we got was from him, so I think it was a couple weeks.
yeah. Okay,
yeah, that's not too bad.
It wasn't
so
bad.
maybe in April we can
We'll visit
Well,
that.
see how the budget's coming, and, because that way you'll have it May or June
Mm-hmm.
as things.
Yeah. If you want, at
Busy.
that point, go talk to them about what's available and what you would like to have, and bring prices for that stuff.
Okay.
So
Well, if we have a drought this year, the way it's shaping up.
Yeah, I know.
I hope it's, well, I'm glad
We'll
it's
be on the
raining
golf
today.
course a lot more than it'll be mowing.
So do we want to go over this real quick? The budget,
No,
anyway?
we can wait till we get to it, right?
Well, we're on
Yeah,
it.
Oh, we're on it?
that's
Oh,
what
we are on
Yeah.
it. Oh, look at that segue.
Yeah. So if you just
Stunning, isn't it?
flip to the last page, it's so much easier.
Yep.
So we took in $30,420. We took in $5,000, that's in lot sales, for the percentage that we keep. Administration was $5,300, markouts were $1,725. Our expenses were $64,571.67. Which
Didn't we have something coming out of the trust?
we did. We had some coming out of the trust too, but this is for everything for the whole year. And we had a lot for the Mackenzie trees, which has to go through this, even though we took the money out of it. So a lot of it was for tree services. And
We
then,
haven't withdrawn the trust yet.
no, they're going to. I put in the Rockland Trust bank account for you to.
No, they haven't withdrawn
They
that?
haven't, no.
Okay.
And then, we, 2,570 is going into the PC account. They are getting us updated numbers for that. They didn't have them ready for today. And our balance, available balance in the cemetery revolving account is $23,245.82. We deposited, so far, $37,445, but we had a previous balance before this, this year started of $42,000, which we were holding on to for this Veterans Memorial stuff that we expended this year, so.
And anything?
We saved our pennies for 3 years to make sure that we could pay for it, so. Now that all those bills are coming due with all the, with the walkway and everything else that we've done.
No update to what the town owes us?
No, she thought they were gonna have it available, but it wasn't ready. And the only thing we voted on at last meeting The only thing that's encumbered right now is the seal for the walkway, which is $644.46. So our new, if we encumber that, the actual availability will be $22,601.36.
Do you have a ballpark of what they owe us?
I don't. I could guess.
Well,
It's been years.
take a guess.
Can we charge them interest on that money?
I don't think we can charge them interest.
Good luck with that.
I would say
It would be nice.
at least $10,000, probably more than that. And I don't know how long it's been since they deposited, but we roughly, yeah. Are you trying to figure out the interest?
Always. No, so that's another 267 a year.
So
Dividends and
they supposedly will have that ready for us for the next meeting.
Okay.
So we'll get that. They'll tell us when they transferred it over, and then we should get a new updated Rockland Trust account with our new amount in there, and then the amount they took out for the walkway.
Only 10?
It's probably more than that. I'm just going low.
You asked for an estimate.
I don't know.
That's what you got.
I can't. I'd have to go through it.
Yeah, we got the Eagle Scout project.
Yes, so that is. So we met out, me and Jim met with Michael Theoritis. He is our new Eagle Scout. You guys don't have this in your packet. He is our new Eagle Scout that wants to do the replacement of the split rail fence at the East Harwich Cemetery. We walked the perimeter with him. He wrote off all of his notes. He has typed up his application and is submitting it to Troop 76 to see if they will approve this for his Eagle Scout project, which I'm sure they're gonna. It's probably one of the bigger ones that we've done. Jim went out and recounted the posts. They have currently 71 posts installed and 110 rails. It's because Jim told me when he went out there, they have a post here, and then they have a post here because they didn't buy corners. So we could probably eliminate a whole bunch of the posts if we put in corner posts.
This is just going around the driveway?
Yeah,
Yeah, but it's big.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but there's 110 rails, so in between each one of those is, and normally it's half the amount. So if you take the rails, you divide that usually by 2 and then add a couple on. So it should only be about 50
Sections.
something
55
posts.
sections or something.
But we have 71 posts because every time they go up to a corner.
And there's breaks as well. There's multiple entrances into that ancient
So
cemetery.
this is what the
walkways.
cemetery looks like, and you guys are
So
this
this is, I'm sorry, is it just split rail fence around the parking area?
yeah, so it's
Okay.
this whole
Yeah.
perimeter, and it's pretty large.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do, so I'm probably gonna go back out there one more time and look at it with Jim to figure out how many can be corners, and then change this post to straight posts or corner posts or end posts or whatever, so that we can get a more accurate number to get a price quote. He'll have his information back from probably the Eagle Scouts to say it's a go, but we want to kind of get on it because at the end of June, he turns 18. So if he doesn't have it done by then, he can't do it. So I'll try to hammer out all of this material costs anyways, and then we'll probably try to get a price quote from, we'll do the same thing we did last time. We got a couple quotes, and then I think who did we go with the last
They
time?
were on Upper County Road. Was it All Cape? I believe it was
Yeah.
All Cape fence.
Yeah, they're on the end of Upper County.
Yeah, I
Right,
believe that was.
and so the DPW just picked them up, right?
Yeah,
Sick.
for 2 separate projects.
Yeah, but they picked them up and then they just brought them. The Eagle Scouts, they always have somebody with a trailer. We usually get a waiver for the day to, get rid of all of the old broken fences, parts or whatever they are. And then they bring their own post hole diggers. They are supervised by a lot of the scout leaders. I always attend that entire day, no matter what day they do it. and yeah, a great group of kids. I can't say enough about them. This the troop here has
It's gonna be the regular split rail, right?
regular split rail.
This one's gonna be challenging for them.
Yeah, because it's curvy. You know what I mean? It'll be a
curved
little.
up.
It's got a lot of jogs on it, and some of the fence is like literally touching ancient stones. They're leaning into it. And
Yeah. Just that one, especially that one section that's here. This section. This is
Right
probably
up
the.
against the parking area.
Yeah, this one's tight. This
Yes.
one's tight as well, but
Yeah.
this one's super tight.
So
That
it's
one's
like
just really busy.
pavement,
There's a
enough-
lot there.
So they got like 10 inches to put a fence, and then the stone is right there, right off the pavement.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
More or less.
I have confidence they'll do a great job. I mean,
I
they're
have no doubt.
Yeah, I'm sure they will.
They are great kids and they're supervised well. So we just have to. I'm going to write a letter to the church just to let them know that this is a project we're interested in moving forward. I kind of want to wait until I hear back to make sure that it's a go before I send the letter. So I texted him yesterday. He said he was going to check in again with the scout leader just to confirm
Yeah.
the process. But very excited.
sounds
Another
cool.
project. I mean, I can't. What a great service these boys are doing for us.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's.
They get a lot more Eagle Scouts showing up too.
So they have other kids that are coming into the fold now that are getting to be that age. So
Yeah.
they love it when they come here and they're like, oh,
We got projects.
we've got projects. That
That's
is, it's
cool.
hard for them to come up with something that would fit the criteria that they need.
Right.
And I'm like, boy, we have criteria. We've got some
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
So they're a good group of
If we
kids.
ever get the walkway at Island Pond going, that's a good Boy Scout project.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be a lot of clearing and stuff like that. So that at town meeting we'll have the hopefully clear the title to that one last parcel, and then we'll move on from there. Perfect.
Sounds good.
Signs for the cemeteries.
So you guys all have in your packet, it's got highlighted with blue. This is all of the cemeteries that have been done. There's 3 that do not have signs. The Samuel Tripp one is on somebody's property and it's like no longer visible. I haven't been able to locate it.
Isn't that the private property one where?
Yeah.
Once before you asked to see
Yeah.
it, and they said go ahead.
Yeah, so we can't get on it. But it was we were supposed to be maintaining it, but
Where's that, Robin?
it's kind of not, I guess it would be, you're gonna kill me if I say the name of the road. So it's kind of near the Mahedable Wixon one. It's in that area of town, I believe.
A lot of
I think I've
water.
got it on.
He's got it on.
It'll
his-
take a minute to pull it up though.
So the other one is the Baptist Church Cemetery in West Harwich, which is, as you all know, is in the newspaper pretty periodically. And the Kelly Cemetery. Both of these are older historic cemeteries. I know that we've done the green signs at most of these, that most of the other cemeteries, but the older historic ones, especially the Kelly one, I think should be a tablet because
Yeah,
it would be fitting with the stones from that
I
period.
think so.
And I think that, Jim, do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Instead of a hanging sign.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
monument
Kelly,
style.
yeah, it's kind of like, it's not one that I mean, there are a few spaces we can sell in the Kelly Cemetery, but it's more of a historic cemetery. It's very small. Have you guys all been there?
Right.
I thought we had a bunch.
Kelly.
The Kelly Cemetery?
Yeah,
Is there a bunch of land we got out back there?
we do. It's gonna be
was gonna
expanded
say,
eventually.
Why don't you want one of our traditional signs there?
Because it's
It's kind of
in the woods.
it's like a dirt road into it. There's a house over here and this house over here.
And a
And there's
cranberry
like
bog.
scrub pines and crap. And there it is. But it's only,
So, I mean, if we put
small
you wouldn't see
area.
the sign from the street
Right.
because it doesn't have street frontage.
right.
So most of the signs that we have for the cemeteries is so that if somebody's looking for it, they could see it.
Right.
There's nowhere on the main drag we could put one of the big.
At
green-
all?
Yeah.
No, we don't own that property. So I mean, it would have to be all the way in where the cemetery is, and
Right now, there's just a metal post with a normal street sign that
So,
just says Kelly.
I mean, if, at some point, if we, eventually somebody's gonna do the expansion there because we have all that land. When they do that, could you add another sign on, because it's right now, the Kelly Cemetery is like this. You're gonna come around the corner, this is the house, this is Memory Lane, which I love, they renamed it. Memory Lane. Then it comes up like this, and it has like a cul-de-sac. This is the cemetery.
Yeah.
And then we now have got, was transferred to the town, this part, but somebody still owns this.
Oh, I remember you brought that up when we did the tour.
Yeah, so we have an easement now to come in here, right?
To the new section.
No,
It's a
we
pine
can-
needle cul-de-sac is really,
Yeah.
what else
What
can
it
you
is,
call
yeah.
it?
So Memory Lane, if you drive on Memory Lane, we have frontage on Memory Lane for the new section.
Okay. Well, if we get that far, then maybe we'll put the conventional signs that we're putting there. And
At the new
And
section.
keep the old part divided by a fence, so they know the old cemetery, then the new cemetery is out here with the new sign and.
Yeah. So
Is
this,
that- Excuse me, is that Memory Lane, that's like private, isn't it?
no, I think it's a town road.
I believe it's a private road that, I mean,
It used to be
we don't
factory.
maintain it.
It used to be factory, but they had to rename it because when they called 911, there was, 3 factory roads?
Yeah.
So they changed a couple of the other factories, so they would just have one factory. And then this would be Memory Lane. So that if somebody who lived on the street, because there's several houses on there.
Right.
They would know which street to go to. So
I
they,
was thinking it was just a dirt road that
it's
went
a
out
dirt
around the
road. It
bog.
looks like it could be mistaken for a driveway.
Right,
Well, the road goes 2 directions, you know what I mean? There's the one that goes by the bog, but then there's
Yeah.
also the one that goes up past the houses.
yeah, I haven't been.
Kind of goes
I'm
around
really
the
out there.
cemetery, you know, there's one here and
Yeah.
one here.
We probably need to take some tours of the cemeteries again.
so on this section, I thought as you come in here, there's kind of like you could drive in if you wanted to. This stone's here. It's the old Kelly family. And then over here too.
He was police chief in.
Right, he was a
Years and
police
years
chief.
ago.
Yeah, so almost as you first come in, I think the sign should be like there, as you come in, off the road, so no one hits it.
Right, as close to the existing fencing as
Close to
possible.
this fence as we can
That has
get
a
it.
tendency to get utilized by 4-wheelers. This,
Circle, yeah.
wrong or right, it does, you know, that's what happens, you know.
So that's just so if we did, we could put a big Kelly sign here.
Yep.
But here, I think we should just go.
Keep with the old
Wait,
one.
I mean, it doesn't have a sign now at all.
Is it gonna be like that blue stone tablet? that
Yeah,
you did for the
I
other
think we
ones?
should just do one of the ones like we did. And once they're in, there's zero maintenance on those
Yeah.
signs, zero for eternity. I mean, every now and then I just have to spray it with D2 and that's it.
Yeah.
And the other signs require intervention.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to think of what would be best money-wise. It's cheaper and it lasts forever.
And I think it's more appropriate for there,
Yeah, for
Absolutely,
that era.
Yeah.
even if they attach it to the
Did you
fence.
find it?
right.
Well, it's on Chase Street, West Harwich.
What one are you
Oh,
looking
West
for?
Harwich.
It's right, it's
What are you
somewhere
looking
here,
for?
the Tripp family.
Oh, sorry.
It's along here.
I'm
I
lost
can,
down
you know what,
there.
I
So
haven't,
here's Route 28.
Across from the weather deck.
Yeah, here's,
okay.
yeah,
Oh.
thereabouts. Somewhere along there. I mean, I thought I had coordinates for it, but I don't know what I did.
and you know what, there is an old book with all the old cemeteries in it that was published 1900s that has it on there,
Yeah,
but it's not exact, it just says,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I hadn't happened to hear the name before, I don't think.
Yeah.
This is the first I knew of this.
Yeah,
Well, because it's,
it's on somebody's property.
And what do we need to do for the back? That's at the church with the kids doing the fencing, right?
No, that's a different church.
Yeah, it's a different one. So
This
that,
is the opposite end of town,
Yeah.
the one they, yeah.
you're talking about the, so the
Oh, the
west,
Baptist church, oh, West, that's the one
Yeah.
that they're gonna remodel into apartments. Okay, because that definitely needs
So that has no sign.
Okay.
I don't even know how you want to approach that.
So we've been maintaining that like the other cemeteries since that town meeting article, I think that was in the late 60s. So I think, was it 68, 67, something like that?
So,
So,
no, I was surprised when they said that the cemetery belonged to the church, to the
so
church
they
property.
all of the cemeteries belong to the property belongs to the church, but all of their perpetual care money and the upkeep and maintenance were turned over at a town meeting article
That's right.
for us to maintain. And that's how, when we did another one of the articles, when we were doing the East Harwich Union gravestones, all of that paperwork came out and then we published it. So I have the exact date when we've been maintaining it since. So we do maintain it and we're supposed to because we took their perpetual care money.
Right.
So that one is maintained by the town of Harwich for sure, 100%.
So it should have a sign going down that side road.
Just like the East Harwich Union one, I think they should be the same. The green sign.
Yeah.
Because it's in a prominent area, you can definitely see it. There are a lot of historic graves in that cemetery.
This is the Baptist one. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Can we get the other sign maker to make one similar to it? Didn't we find one that?
yeah, we found a guy that did the one that did the one for the library. So it's made out of kind of like not plastic, but
I can't think of the word. Yeah.
what's the decking? What's the decking?
Azek.
AZAC, yeah. So those ones, they require less maintenance because they're not wood.
Right.
So I could ask him to give us a price quote for in one of those signs.
Yeah, for one that similar, kind of looks like it.
Yeah, he went and looked at the sign. Church. And, sorry. How do you spell AZAC?
AZEC.
AZECT or IC?
AZEC.
EC.
AZECK, I think.
Okay.
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 Nobody really knows.
Well, I'll look.
It's like the ingredients in a hot dog.
And then do you want me to get a price quote for the Kelly
It's
one too?
AZEK.
Okay.
You were all right.
Okay.
It's that stuff.
Okay. And then what about the bluestone for the Kelly Cemetery? You want me to get
I
a
would
price
do
quote
that.
for that?
Yeah, it should be similar to the price that we just paid, right?
Yeah.
Will he
It's
put,
by the letter.
it's by the letter.
The engraving is by the
So
letter.
we put on that, would we have the established date? being
I
followed?
would, 1831. That's when it was established.
I would do that.
I think so too.
Okay.
That's good.
Cool. Bills, do we have any other old business?
Anybody have any old business? So we have bills. We had an Eversource bill. I believe it was $15.31.
My wife is related to.
I wish my bill at home was $15.31. Oh, no, $15.18. I'm so sorry. And then we had two deeds. We had two cremation lots in Island Pond, and then two full body burial lots also in Island Pond. And that's it.
And the next meeting will be April 10th. If Rob and I and Cindy all wanted to go out and look at cemeteries in our own, do we have to post a meeting for that or just?
Not if you're going on your own. You can do it whenever you can look at stuff on your. Oh, together though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I believe you'd have to post that you were. Yeah, I can check with Amy though, because you're not making any decisions. You're just
No, we're
looking.
just looking over.
So I know that when their commissioners go out and look at property, conservation trust, they go out and look at property before, just so they all know what it's they're looking at, and then they do the discussion at a meeting.
Yeah, that's all we do is just go out and
Take a peek.
take a look, see what
Yeah.
is glaring issues.
That hasn't been in the Chronicle yet, right?
What?
That, we're gonna, after so many days, they have to follow up with a.
Right. I'll
That
type up.
hasn't been posted yet, right?
Yeah, I'll type up some stuff for you guys. What I want to put in the Chronicle. Are you talking about?
No, you
the-
have that already.
We had that letter for breaking the rules.
Oh, no, I haven't put that one in either.
Okay, so we don't wanna go out and actually do anything about it. We wanna be careful to
Yeah,
make
yeah.
sure that that's been published before we go out and look to see who's in
Okay.
violation.
Okay.
I guess that's what I wanna say.
That
And when we,
wasn't the idea of my touring, but
He wants to tour to look at.
possible things to be done or
oh, sure, that as well.
Yeah.
general monkey business.
Yeah.
Is that it?
I think that's it. Does anybody else have anything to add? I will submit those rules and the minutes, and then that's about it for me.
Cool. Do you have
Jim,
anything to-
anything?
Nope, I think everything was covered.
Have a wish list of stuff you want?
What's a new mower?
Well, we understand that.
Not particularly.
We're in pretty good shape.
Okay, do I hear a motion to,
So moved.
What time is
I didn't
it?
even get the thing
What?
done.
It's my thing.
9:51.
Wow. And do I have a second?
I'll second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
There we go.